Africa, a continent of immense potential, is rapidly emerging as a hub for business opportunities. With a young, dynamic population, abundant natural resources, and a growing economy, Africa is poised to become a global powerhouse. From technology to agriculture, the possibilities are endless. Today we'll explore the key sectors driving this growth and uncover why Africa is the next frontier for entrepreneurs and investors alike. Let's start with one of the most exciting areas, the digital economy. Africa's tech scene is booming, and the numbers speak for themselves. By 2025, the digital economy is projected to reach $180 billion, and by 2050, it could soar to $712 billion. This growth is fueled by a tech-savvy youth population and the rapid adoption of mobile technology. With over 500 million mobile internet users expected by 2025, Africa is leapfrogging traditional infrastructure and embracing the digital age. Fintech and e-commerce are at the forefront of this revolution. The e-commerce market alone is set to hit $180 billion by 2024, growing at an astonishing 25% annually. Countries like Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya are leading the charge, with mobile money platforms transforming how people transact and online retail reshaping consumer behavior. But it's not just about fintech and e-commerce. There's a massive opportunity in digital skills training. By 2030, 230 million jobs in Africa will require digital skills, creating an $11.1 billion market. Startups like Gabeya, which has raised $2 million, and AltSchool Africa, with $1 million in funding, are already capitalizing on this demand, training the next generation of tech talent. Another sector brimming with potential is renewable energy. Africa holds 60% of the world's renewable energy potential, yet millions still lack reliable electricity. This gap presents a golden opportunity for innovation, particularly in solar energy. With over 300 days of sunlight in many regions, solar power is a game changer. Take solar-powered cold storage, for example. Food waste is a significant issue in Africa, but solutions like Coolbox are addressing this by providing off-grid refrigeration. Similarly, Cold Hubs is making strides in off-grid refrigeration. These startups have raised millions in funding and are making a real impact. In fact, reducing post-harvest losses by just 1% could save $40 million annually in sub-Saharan Africa. And it's not just about energy generation. Green finance is also on the rise, with global transactions projected to reach $29 trillion by 2032. Africa is playing a key role in this shift, with initiatives like Gabon's $2 billion carbon credit sales and the African Carbon Markets Initiative, which could unlock $6 billion and create 30 million jobs by 2030. Now let's turn to agriculture. Africa holds 60% of the world's arable land, yet it imports over $50 billion in food annually. This paradox highlights the untapped potential in agribusiness, which is projected to be a $1 trillion industry by 2030. One area ripe for investment is organic fertilizers. Africa's fertilizer use is just 8 kilograms per hectare, compared to the global average of 80 kilograms. The global organic fertilizer market is expected to reach $15.9 billion by 2028, and Africa is well positioned to lead this growth. Poultry feed production is another promising venture. The global market is set to hit $217 billion by 2030, and innovations like using black soldier fly larvae as a sustainable protein source are gaining traction. Startups like Inseco, which has raised $5.3 million, are already making waves. And let's not forget cassava. Africa produces 64% of the world's cassava, a crop valued at $183 billion in 2023 and projected to reach $254 billion by 2032. Companies like Saltree are partnering with global giants like Unilever to create high-value derivatives, replacing millions in imports. Africa's diverse landscapes, wildlife, and cultures make it a magnet for tourism, but there's a growing demand for sustainability. Travelers are seeking authentic, eco-friendly experiences, and businesses that can deliver on this will thrive. Real estate is another sector with massive potential. Africa's residential real estate market is valued at $12 trillion and is expected to grow to $16.7 trillion by 2028. However, there's a 51 million housing unit shortfall, creating opportunities for innovative solutions. Startups like Smart Havens Africa are addressing this with rent-to-own models, making homeownership more accessible. Global investors are taking notice. Wealthy individuals from the West are increasingly diversifying into African real estate, recognizing the long-term growth potential. Financial services are evolving to meet the needs of Africa's diverse population. One of the biggest opportunities lies in addressing the $42 billion financing gap for African women, including $15.6 billion in agriculture. Platforms like Secluded, which has disbursed $1 million and aims for $1.3 billion, are leading the way in closing this gap. Diaspora remittances are another powerful tool. In 2021, African migrants sent $95.6 billion back home. Initiatives like Pangea Trust are channeling these funds into impactful investments, supporting startups and creating jobs. Of course, doing business in Africa isn't without its challenges. The continent is incredibly diverse, with 54 countries, each with its own market dynamics and economic conditions. In 2024, 18 African nations held elections, and issues like inflation and debt defaults have created economic turmoil. This has led to a growing demand for security and locally sourced solutions. Businesses must be adaptable and focus on sustainability. Affordable housing, eco-friendly tourism, and locally tailored products are key to success. Strategic choices are critical, especially in times of crisis, but those who get it right will reap the rewards. Africa in 2025 is a land of opportunity, but it's also a place where understanding local needs is paramount. Whether you're investing in tech startups, renewable energy, or sustainable agriculture, the potential is undeniable. The continent's young population, natural resources, and growing economy make it a fertile ground for innovation and growth. As we've seen, the digital economy is set to explode. Renewable energy is powering the future. Agriculture is ripe for transformation. Tourism and real estate are booming, and financial services are becoming more inclusive. The key to success lies in adaptation. Businesses must align with local markets and prioritize sustainability. Africa is not just the future, it's the present. For entrepreneurs and investors willing to engage deeply, the rewards are immense. The time to act is now.